Recording. Do it again.
I can move it closer.
Go ahead. No, it wasn't even on.
Oh, thought you hit record.
No, I know.
Oh, the mic wasn't
The
on.
mic was on. Good.
Welcome everybody once again to the If I Said It, I Meant It podcast.
Bite my tongue for no one.
Kevin Shio coming to you as always with my good friend
Richard Vasquez.
And we are joined in studio by the legendary, the infamous, the known around the world DJ Fuze.
Yo, what up, guys?
So, DJ, thank you so much. Is it?
You call him DJ? Is that his initials?
Well, we're friends now, so I can call him DJ.
My first name? DJ?
Yeah, we can call him by his first name.
First name DJ, last name Fuze.
That's it. So DJ Fuze is taking some time off from his contractual obligations at the studio to come across the street down here to our studio.
Much smaller studio.
Much smaller, but you know, still nonetheless.
It's a nice setup over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
We're allowed to drink in our studio. I don't know if they let you do that at
Do you guys
the
drink at work?
station.
Sometimes, but we got to be on our A game,
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to watch what you do.
That's the corporate world, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, we go off on our thing. We do it, And
I think if I was allowed to drink at work, I would probably fucking take advantage of that shit in a bad way.
In a bad way?
Yeah,
You
for
mess
sure.
it up?
Yeah, it would be like all bad.
I don't. Yeah, I probably.
Probably wouldn't be a good thing,
Yeah, I guess it's not as bad for me since I don't have to drive home. I have a driver picks me up, and so I wouldn't
Takes
worry
the
about
train,
it.
dude. Don't let me.
The driver?
I'm
like, yeah.
It's my driver. This guy hates it because it's.
Because I'm a poor man.
No, it's not. I mean, I never say it's my I'm his only client, but he's my driver. I know who he is, and we have different help throughout the week. It depends on
Don't look down on those people, bro.
Yeah, be good.
Yeah, well, when you're making podcast type money, you can kind of do those types of things. So yeah, but thanks everybody for joining us on a Whiskey Wednesday. Much appreciated. And
I gotta shout out one thing. My sister's birthday's today.
Oh,
So we gotta say happy birthday to my sis.
Happy birthday.
should we sing
Yeah.
happy birthday?
No, terrible. I have a terrible voice.
We should have DJ'd it. If only we had two DJs here.
Bust out the turntable.
Yeah, we'll be good. They're
All
upstairs. A little
It'll
bit
take
of
like
setup.
30 minutes.
Yeah, the setup.
So thank you, DJ, for coming down and spending.
His name's not DJ. It's Fuze or it's DJ Fuze.
Why can't I just call him DJ?
Because that's not his name.
Because you're a DJ too, so
Yeah, I'm never trying to be your type. Well,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Let's keep it fused. Let's keep it fused.
Yeah, Fuze,
Okay.
bro.
so thanks so much for joining us, Mr. DJ Fuze. I told you we're not good.
Yeah.
We're not good at this.
Terrible.
But yeah, no, thanks for coming down
Yeah,
and
thank you
joining
for
us.
having me.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah.
Tell the world about yourself.
Yeah.
So I've been DJing since 2000. I was 15 when I started out. Started out doing nothing much, pretty much house parties,
Family parties.
bedroom DJ for a few years, and then
Bedroom DJ?
yeah, just
That means,
practicing.
yeah, like
as
set
a
up in my room.
hobby,
okay. I thought it was a
as a
sexual
hobby.
thing.
Bedroom DJ.
Like with a happy ending.
Well, you got a couple of turntables in front of you, and
Yeah. Just party in the bedroom.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I started doing that, and then in 2005 I met some guys that were also DJing in Santa Ana. That's where I grew up, and little by little just started doing more bars, a few clubs, and then a few years after that I'm like, you know what, let me pursue this Power 106 stuff. I felt like I was a little better. Maybe I wasn't as good as I should have been, but I felt comfortable. I'm like, you know what, I can go after it now, and
Do you feel like you have to be perfect when you're on the radio?
I'm very such a perfectionist, I know I'm not that good or the best or anything like that, but with my skills, I'm like, damn, I gotta if I mess up, it really bugs me.
So
I gotta be in there screaming fuck, man.
So as a DJ myself, not anywhere. So if you don't think you're good or you don't think you're the best, then I'm below that, right? But I do understand like beat matching and like you know
Yeah.
dropping on the one and all that stuff, right? And I'm not saying with you, but just like in general, like when I'm listening to the radio and I hear like oh they fucked up, and then I'll be like, oh did you guys hear that? And you're in the car,
Yeah.
but no one has any
They're
idea
like,
what the fuck you're
what
talking about.
about?
Yeah, it sounds fine. It's like
Yeah, the song's playing.
I
Like,
fucking got you. I know. Or when I'm at a bar or a club, or whatever, it's like oh that guy fucked up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what percentage of the listening audience, not to us because you know, we don't even have 100 to make a percentage, but
Some guy named Lucky Taco just joined.
Hey.
Yo.
what percentage of the listening audience of Power 106 or some of these stations or bars that you go into would notice that you missed a beat?
I'd say like 5%.
Okay.
At like
I was
that,
gonna say,
that,
I was gonna
that,
say like 1%.
Yeah,
There's probably
5%.
maybe one DJ in the whole bar.
Who
or,
notices like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you
yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up.
I think it's a very small percentage. You know what I mean? Like in your mind, you're like, man, everybody noticed, but like reality, nobody cares. They're drunk, and even if they do know what's going on, like they probably didn't even catch it because they're like trying to holler
Not
at some
paying
chicks,
attention.
they're
Yeah.
dancing. You know, like they don't care.
or Kevin's case trying to holler at some dudes.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't
But there's always a group of like your buddies that are there, like, and some of them are DJs, so it's like that group alone being there, like, you know, they're gonna notice, so it's kind of like messes you up, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, along those same lines, I find myself kind of like a music snob. Not so much in the type of music, but we're in LA. You hear guys who were just put $400 into a good amp and one good bass
That's
speaker.
I think your number's way low, but that's fine. We'll let you continue.
Well, no. I'm talking vehicle. Like you can get a $200 amp for a vehicle.
Oh, they're talking about our system.
Not your system.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But
Like that, bro.
Where are you shopping?
But when you're driving, you hear them bumping whatever hip hop, and it's all bass, and it bugs me because I really want to pull over and say, look, guys, if you want a quality sound system, you got to have your high end, you got to have your mids. I don't respect you for having one 14-inch sub in the back and one amp, and you have no idea what words are coming through because you only hear like 4 tones.
Yeah.
It bugs me.
And the trunk rattling
And
shit,
everything
like,
rattling. It's like I don't have a top of the line sound system, but I put a lot of work into making sure that my tweeters are loud enough and they're good enough quality where you can hear the high end, you hear the mids.
Yeah.
I have a 12-inch subwoofer just for bass, but I've turned it way down. So when I listen to music, you can hear the whole array.
Of course.
And I think you guys kind of hold yourselves to that standard of, look, you can tell shitty DJs who hit a beat or they've seen it, watched a couple YouTube videos, and then the quality, the people who put the work in that hit those beats on time. And I think it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
When you go places, how often do you hear DJs, and if it's Richard,
That's fine.
feel free to
I'm not
let
great,
me
I know that.
How often do you hear guys who just pawn off a loud music or a loud bass to cover up some of their half-assed DJery? Is that a verb? I made it a verb.
I'm sure.
Okay.
You know what? To be honest, like most DJs nowadays, like they're pretty like decent. You know what I mean? Like they do their thing.
Most, Richard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the exception.
And
to the rule.
like I don't want to sound like a cornball or anything, but like sometimes like I'll go on like after a DJ and they'll be like, oh man, I was nervous. I'm like, dude, like I'm the last person that would like ever judge like another DJ. I'm like, dude, like do your thing, man. Like you know what I mean? Like do your thing, have fun. Like who am I to freaking judge? Like I'm just here to do my job. Like do you? You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. That's just me, you know.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, even when we DJed together, like I was a little nervous just because I know like my skills are nowhere near yours. But I guess it was more nervous just because it's like you just don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, this guy's garbage. You know, and maybe I was, but like you don't want to be that person. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. Like I know there's a lot of things that I lack, but like I also try to stick within like what I'm good at and keep the practicing to like the bedroom DJing or whatever.
But it's funny how that works because like an opener might be nervous, but then like once a headliner goes on, like someone like me, like then all the nerves are like on you now, you know, because now you gotta like
you have to
make
perform.
sure, now you gotta make sure people are dancing, like so all the pressure's on you, you know what I mean? So it's like goes both ways, I guess.
What have you ever done like battle DJing or anything like that?
Well, I did a battle that kind of like won me a prize where I got to go on Power once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back in '06. So that was kind of a battle. And then after I won that, like in the following year, I did another like turntablist battle where I totally like fucked up and got last place.
Oh,
My
okay.
needle skipped all over the place. Like there was some really dope turntablists like performing, and I'm like, that's where I'm like, you know what? Maybe this whole turntablism thing isn't like my lane, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching the Red Bull 3 style or
Uh-huh.
whatever for the US.
Oh, Dynamics.
Yeah.
I watched that too. I was in New York when.
When it happened?
Yeah,
I was watching. We were watching it here on Facebook, and
In the studio,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Live, like,
live
during the show.
in the studio.
live during the show.
I feel like he got robbed, but that's just me probably being a homer, like, cause I think he's like one of my favorite DJs. But those fucking guys are dope, man.
Beast.
Like they're fucking.
Beast.
It's crazy.
Dynamics was on like some other shit. I watched his performance. I'm like, even like after like that little whatever it was
Little
where it
hiccup,
froze,
yeah.
where his laptop froze or whatever. Like in that moment, I'm like, damn, is he gonna like
Melt.
Yeah,
Under
yeah.
pressure.
I was like hoping he didn't, and like it didn't even phase him. Yeah, he just went
killed
on
it.
and like nothing happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Who are your top 3, 5, 10, however many can come to your mind of the top DJs that you can think of or that you look up to?
That I look up to, Jazzy Jeff. To me, he's such a he's kind of like kind of like the epitome of a hip hop DJ. You know what I mean? Like this turntablism, incorporating the classics.
And he was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, of course. He's old school, you know what I mean? And he's still doing his thing, like still doing showcases. Mr. Chalk, he was once a power mixer, like one of the OG power mixers. Super clean on the turntables, like never messed up. If he ever did, it was like
So
super
minute.
rare.
Yeah.
Koki, another guy that used to be on power, like that's
I remember him.
yeah, Japanese dude.
Yeah.
Of course you would remember
Koki,
him.
Well,
like,
I mean,
that
it
was-
happens. He had the cookie.
Yeah,
It was your
exactly.
cousin, right?
Yeah, well,
Pretty much.
I think he's Takashi's brother.
Takashi 69. Yeah, Koki.
He was really
Shop.
Japanese. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's just
Sean.
funny that that's the one guy you didn't.
Yeah.
Jazzy Jeff.
It's like that connection, even through the airwaves, bro. Music has no color.
Those are like some of my like 3 favorite like DJs. You know what I mean? And there's other dudes that I look up to, but like I guess the style that like I like is like those guys right there. You know?
When you're DJing at the station, and I don't know if legally we can say it, with the contracts and the competing high-rise buildings here, but you obviously come in contact with a lot of well-known, famous people. The pictures you were showing us earlier, that was cool. Who were some of the people that have come through the studio who have been cool? Feel free to shout their names out because I'm sure they'd appreciate people saying like these are cool people.
For sure.
And then definitely we want to shout out the douchebags. Jokingly aside, but I mean, who are the cool people in the industry and who have been a pain in the ass?
You know what? Like it's hard to like remember, but a lot of the cool people were like I remember Busta Rhymes being super like cool. And this is a long time ago.
I was saying this was it skinny Buster Rhymes or fat Buster Rhymes? or buff Buster Rhymes.
Busta. I think he still had the dread, so was he still skinny?
Yeah,
I don't
skinny,
remember,
yeah,
but I
that's
just remember him
skinny.
being super cool.
When he got the fade is when he got buff. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I don't know.
I remember J Lo came through once, like 09 or so.
Is she as fine as she looks? And
You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I have a picture with her too, and like, she was pretty, like beautiful, like
Yeah.
like. But I was like kind of like looking at the ass, and I'm like,
It's
it's not as big as it looks on like pictures. You know what I mean?
you were disappointed.
A little bit. Like, I mean, I have a picture, and back then I was like, I weighed more, so I looked way bigger than her too. So that doesn't like help.
Doesn't do the ass any justice.
Yeah,
Proportionally,
but-
you took away some of the.
But she was like, I remember
Horizontal
that one meeting where she came through, like she had like all kinds of assistants. I was like damn, like that's J Lo, I'm not surprised, like such a superstar to have like so many people like helping her out, like putting papers and like signing waivers and like I'm like damn.
But did she seem like a bitch about it, and you don't have to use those words, or was she just very busy, like
very
focused
busy,
on-
you know? It's like, it's something, it seemed like it was like something that she's very used to, like just
Yeah.
having all kinds of helpers, and she wasn't mean at all. She was just herself, I guess. But I mean, everyone's pretty much cool. Like, there's like a few people that I can remember like being kind of like weird vibes. But
Yeah, you don't have to give their names, but like,
Yeah.
I will say that I've heard not.
And to be honest, like it might have been like artists that like never like blew up or anything that like
Yeah.
I probably don't even remember their names.
Shaggy.
I just kind of nah.
It wasn't him.
Exactly.
No, but yeah,
I'm glad you got that, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got that.
yeah. There's dudes that like pull up and I'm like, dude, like nobody even knows you yet, and you're already like acting like a fucking asshole. Like,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like, dude, we haven't even made it yet. Like chill, you know?
What about comedians? How are comedians? Like, are they fucking funny
Comedians?
off camera? As they
You know
are?
what? I haven't met too many comedians.
Oh,
I know they come through to
Yeah.
the morning show sometimes, but I've never really like met any.
Damn.
It seemed like they would be.
I would love to be Cat Williams. I think he's like a mess and like,
Yeah, it seems like he'd be a
like I think he's fucking hilarious.
handful.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he gives a shit. Like, he'll make fun of you, right?
Oh yeah.
And if I'm a 12-year-old kid, I could choke you out.
Yeah.
You know, the rumors like about somebody like Mariah Carey. She comes in.
Oh, he wants blue
she's
M&Ms?
just-
Oh,
Yeah, just blue M&Ms. It has to be 72 degrees in her room, and
Damn.
she only had, you know, when we tried to have her on our show, the list of demands was just so much that,
So you guys turned her down?
yeah, we were just like, "No, you know what, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know, those kind of people just, the fact that they get their way perpetuates the way that they are.
Yeah.
And it's like Rich and I were talking about, you know, you just don't, and in business you have to deal with it, but like in life, you just, like, I don't want to deal with those types of people. Like, I have better things to do.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to fucking put
Like, I don't want to deal with Damian Tenorio because he keeps fucking sending me bullshit ass trades on fantasy football.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to forgive him.
Yeah, he's just mad because he got fucked on the Bell trade that I did with him.
He did. Le'Veon Bell.
You play fantasy football?
Yeah, I do.
I
I love
draft-
fantasy. This is my third season. I'm hooked on it.
Dude,
I suck this season, but I'm still having fun with it.
I fucking had the first overall pick. I picked fucking Le'Veon Bell, and
Ah.
it fucking. I mean, my team sucks. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty much just trying to
You're
fucking.
screwed.
I've been screwed, but now I'm just trying to like fuck everybody else's season up.
Oh, yeah,
and
of
try to beat
course.
them at the end of the year. So
Yeah. Trying
Yeah.
to fuck it up for everybody.
Like, when you know where you are in the world and you realize, like, I can't get there, I'm just going to fuck with everybody. But,
That's how it works, you know?
yeah, I
I
mean,
went down with you.
since you really have zero control over what happens, that's the fun thing to do. As we've been sitting here talking, you know,
the Laker game's been on.
yeah, no, well, yeah, but I'm curious as far as you were born in the mid '80s.
Yeah.
Richard was born in the late '70s.
What a dick.
How have you?
You're the one closer to 70s than I am,
I
asshole.
really am. You've obviously, we were talking earlier about what music you did and didn't listen to. How have you seen hip hop change? And what's your opinion on some of these new, young, up and coming audio? Was it audio box? SoundCloud.
SoundCloud rappers.
Napster.
Yeah.
Napster. That ages you right there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I used to. Oh man, you could only do like one or two songs on Napster at a time. Otherwise, it would just get so slow.
Yeah.
Oh god, I hated
Slow
Napster.
down.
With the
Your
fucking
mail.
dial-up.
Yeah, you're not.
Oh, and that one friend who had like DSL, you're like, oh, give me
Yeah.
this song. And you bring out your pack
Yeah,
of
I was-
CDs.
I was never that friend. I was the friend that had to go to the people's houses to get this. Didn't
Same here.
even have fucking
You
internet.
always get
and
those
shit.
free discs at
Yeah.
like Target, like
Yeah.
AOL or whatever.
Yeah. Raise them up. But how have you seen hip hop change, Mr. DJ Fuze?
You know what? Like I started up at the station going into 08, and from then to now, like it's changed a lot. You know what I mean? Like
So 08 was like prime, like Drake, right? Or like he was
no,
new?
Drake was like a year and a half later.
Oh, okay.
So like around that time
So
was
specific.
yeah when I first started like up there like
Lil Wayne.
late 07 going into 08. That's when I was like doing my auditions or whatever. Like we were playing like Nelly, like Ashanti, Pitbull.
Oh yeah.
It was going through a phase where like it was still hip hop, but it was like transitioning into like Pitbull, Anthem, and like LMFAO, Lady Gaga, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird. I'm like, the hell? Like I'm here at Power, which is like a hip hop station, and we're like playing all this like
Pop music.
yeah, it was a weird transition, and then that was a vibe for like a good 3-4 years, like upbeat, like EDM type of records mixed with like hip hop, like artists or whatever.
Yeah, I for a while I didn't even listen to the radio. I was like so anti-radio, man.
Yeah,
Like, I was listening to like a lot of underground hip hop, a lot of like Murs, Atmosphere,
Yeah,
like
you were in your-
Souls of Mischief, like.
Your zone somewhere else. Huh?
Well, I just maybe it's because I felt like I outgrown the music that was playing on the being played on the radio, and then the artists that I guess connected with were dead. You know, I'm just saying like Biggie, they weren't coming out with new music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like Murs was like a really really big artist for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, how well you know.
Yeah, I
him
know.
or whatever, but,
He's dope.
like he was somebody that like I connected with a lot. Like I would listen to his music like album after album and just like, but like hip hop during that time you're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't really like popping at all.
It wasn't anything that I
Yeah,
connected with.
even
I mean,
on like a mainstream level, it was kind of like this.
Nally was the only thing. Nally and Ludacris were the only things that I really listened to consistently.
Luda.
Well, Luda's a very underrated rapper,
Yeah,
dude. At least I think so. I mean, I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time or anything, but he's a very underrated rapper.
Yeah.
But like, so when we graduated, or when I graduated, Hot in Here was like the anthem, right, for that summer. But like, Nally came up with like 2 or 3 albums after that were like decent, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when like Ludacris was out, like Chicken and Beer and all that, right? But besides that, I can't really think of any like amazing artists. I mean, I guess like The Game was out around that time, or maybe it
Yeah,
was,
Lil Wayne was out with some
yeah.
stuff.
And I
like,
hated Lil Wayne. I never.
Kanye had like,
Okay,
like
so
808s and Heartbreak. And all
Yeah,
that.
see, I liked Kanye in 2002 or 2003 when he first came out.
Yeah.
With Late Registration. That was my shit right there.
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah,
that was
yeah,
my
yeah.
shit.
Hell yeah.
Like Kev has no idea what you're talking
No,
about.
I like a lot of Kanye West's music. While his lyrics may not mean anything, his studio beats were.
Yeah.
Well, I disagree with that. I think his first few albums they did mean something. It's the more
Well,
recent ones with the poopity scoop or whatever the fuck he said.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
that shit's fucking garbage. But like his newer or his older stuff was I felt like
You like the
I
lyrics
connected.
better
Had
than
a
the
lot of
beat?
soul. Like,
I connected with them. Yeah, dude.
I see, and for me, it was more my hip hop has faded away, and I really don't listen to it much anymore. But the hip hop that I do listen to is really just a matter. Like for me, it's what sounds the best when you're driving, because that's when I listen to my music most.
Yeah.
And you put on music, you're driving, and hopefully not in traffic, and you're able to go.
You're in LA, you're in fucking traffic.
Depends on what time you go into work. You can, or you just get in the carpool lane like I do.
Do you prefer to work in the morning when you don't have to hit traffic because you have to drive so far?
You mean at the station and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, it's cool. Like getting there in 20 minutes, as opposed to like.
Doing it in the afternoon? when
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. It's definitely. I mean, it sucks getting up early, but that's the cool part about it.
Just get it done with too. You
Get
have
it
to
done
miss
with,
the
yeah,
day.
and go home, take a nap, and then continue with your day.
Yeah, but for the Kanye West, I liked his. The lyrics didn't matter to me so much as the way the beat sounded as you're driving, and it was always just like an upbeat, swerve through traffic type of song, and that's what I like.
It seemed like back then, like there was more like effort put into the music, more like thoughts and ideas, and it seems like now it's easier to make music, and like we were just saying earlier before we went on, like there's so much music coming out like constantly,
Yeah.
it's so easy because it's technology.
It's very saturated for sure.
Yeah. So it's like it kind of like waters it down in a way,
Well, I was watching, like I was saying earlier, I was watching the interview with Styles P and Vince Staples, and they were having the same conversation about like watered down music or saturated music, and one of the things was like, oh, there's more one-hit wonders now than there were before.
Yeah.
Technically, that's true,
Yeah.
okay, but I think the thing you need to look at is like the fact that you're able to be a one-hit wonder and not have any label,
Contractual
any
obligations
label
to
behind you.
stay,
So it's like
yeah.
you could be one-hit wonder. Who gives a fuck? Like,
And you get to keep. Is it easier to? Well, is it better to keep 100% of the money that you make off of a one hit, or is it better to?
Vanilla Ice and have fucking
Yeah, and it's led him to an entire career. But
yeah.
a friend of mine does, and this is very different than the Power 106 genre, but he does producing for Disney Channel, looking for the
Oh,
next pop band and all that stuff, and you know, the Jonas Brothers and,
Yeah.
and Hilary Duff and that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And he's said many times over, like, we're done trying to find that one band or that one artist that's going to
Should
give
have
us
that one song.
6 or 7 albums that we can get a lifetime
Mhm.
profit off of. It's easier to nickel and dime it. Get this kid to do one hit and get that
Yeah.
kid to do one hit and then move on from them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the studios have gotten burned in the past by developing artists, working with them, paying the money for studio time, paying the money to get them to where they need to be, where they're famous, and then that artist going, hey, I'm gonna sign with a different label for the next few albums or whatever it is. And so they've invested all of the money, made them famous, and now the next studio just comes along and cherry picks a star, all packaged and ready to go. I don't know if it's the same through hip hop, but it seems like you're better off
I
just
think
getting
more
the
people are
ones.
going the E40 route and just being independent.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Like a
going
lot
on.
of independent fucking artists out there, man, and they're just fucking raking in all their money, and then it's to the point where they're so big independently that they're able to negotiate their own fucking
They
contracts.
get what
with-
they want.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, you'd be like, I don't need you to fucking,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? I already have.
You don't have to build a name for me. I
already got the name. The only thing you're gonna be doing is expanding my brand from,
Yeah.
you know, Northern Cal, SoCal, Arizona to
Yeah.
Colorado, fucking Texas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just expanding it.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, you could probably still be. I mean, Too Short made so much fucking money in the mid '80s, and he was selling shit out of his trunk, like for real. Like, I used to listen to Too Short, and I was like 12 years old. You know what I mean? Like, he was nowhere near us. They didn't play him on the radio. Like, you know what I mean? They only played Getting 'Em. And that was like, I don't even know what year that was, 98 or some shit. You know what
Was
I mean?
it 98?
I think so. That was like album number 12 or some
Oh,
shit.
some shit like that.
Yeah.
Album number 10 or some shit.
Yeah. Lost count already.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, back to the music. I mean, it's changed a lot. You know what I mean? It went through a weird phase with the EDM, but it came back to hip hop. It goes through like different phases of hip hop where you get like the ratchet, like the Mustard produced stuff, and then you go through a phase where like J. Cole.
Little John.
Yeah, and then
Little John
like
stuff.
J. Cole puts out like an album and it's kind of like more like hip hop sounding. Then you get like a Kendrick album and it's like okay, like it's kind of like the hip hop that we like, more futuristic, but it's more like tolerable for like dudes that were like a little older, you know. And then but one thing I've learned over the years is like I end up enjoying whatever is out, you know what I
Well,
mean?
you have to evolve. Like,
you have to as a DJ. It's like
Not even as a DJ, but even as like a hip hop purist. Like,
Yeah,
you need to
yeah,
evolve because, like, I'm sorry, shit's not the way it was in the '80s, bro. We're
Yeah.
not fucking rapping over breaks anymore.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
everything
Like,
changes, you know, everything, not just music. Like,
so one of the questions that was in that interview I was talking about, my brother just asked it. Then they asked them, like, would you agree or disagree that right now is the best time for hip hop, like the greatest time in hip hop history? Because a lot of people will say the mid '90s is the greatest time of hip hop,
yeah, that's a tough one.
or the greatest era, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah, the greatest era of hip hop. That's a tough one, you know what I mean? Because I'd say like the '90s, you know, like the mid '90s. But that's me. Like that was like my prime of music where I'm like growing up and like I'm a kid and that's what I like. That was my shit. You know what I mean? And to the kid that's like my like what in their teens right now, like right now is their shit. So it's like it's hard to say, you know?
I mean, I would fight tooth and nail that the '90s were the greatest era of hip hop.
Yeah.
But I think that question needs to be changed because the truth is right now is the greatest time of hip hop because of the simple fact that hip hop or rap is the biggest genre
Yeah,
in the world.
That's true.
Period.
That's
Like
true.
it's never been that way. Rock has always been the biggest genre.
Yeah.
Now that hip hop's the biggest.
Yeah,
genre.
like for example, like back in the '90s, you wouldn't really hear hip hop on Kiss FM. You know what I
No,
mean?
never.
And now,
Never.
like, I
I hear
mean,
J. Cole there all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
you know
you
what I mean?
know what I mean? It was like just straight up like pop.
I think y'all underestimate my country music.
We're not underestimating. We're just like, you know, it's not as big.
I would, if I had a vote, I would say that from '95 to 2005 was like the turn of, I guess you'd call it the turn of the century hip hop. was probably the greatest time because
I agree, because that's what I was trying to say, that it's a different question.
yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
Well, I mean, during that time you had the godfathers of hip hop and rap,
But they weren't originally the Godfathers. At that time, they were innovators.
Okay.
I'm just saying now they're Godfathers, but back then they were innovators.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if you're sitting in 95, you're not looking at these guys going, these are the godfathers. They were the biggest names at that time.
Yeah.
And looking back, yes, we see them now in a historical view as being the godfathers of hip hop and rap. And then it really took a turn right around the 2000 where it became a mainstream music where it wasn't just and maybe it's the age of the listener growing up too, but the
way you listen to music too changed too.
You had Kanye West, you had
well, from 95 to 2005, yeah. You still had Biggie, you still had Tupac.
Still had Biggie.
Yeah, Still had
So again, all of these guys.
Pharrell.
And then I think you started getting the East Coast,
Neptunes.
the West Coast, and then you started getting the smaller cities. And I shouldn't say smaller cities, but like Frisco in the Oakland area became real big in hip hop.
Yeah, the early 2000s.
And then you had like the down south rappers, the Atlantas, the ATL came up. So I think at that point, really, it started sparking all over the U.S. And that's was kind of the revolution. That was the turning point. That was
that's why I'm saying that's why the question needs to be posed different now, because the most important time of hip hop, I think, is now the 90s for me personally. I think that was the most, because that's what changed hip hop's trajectory. Because like in the beginning, it was like more of a New York thing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really like, it was kind of like
a regional thing.
And then once like Eazy-E and Dre and all them like popped, it was like the 90s. That's when shit changed for me personally. I just think that like the course of hip hop changed, and the reason why now is the greatest era of hip hop, or it's the biggest fucking genre, is because of the 90s.
The money. Would you base it off of now?
I think I mean, but it's not. It's all money and exposure.
Okay.
Because I mean, if you're a good artist, like I said, like Too Short and E40 were fucking. They were making money, like selling each other their trunks, like they were making money. But now it's like on a different level. It's a global level, and that's what I'm saying is the early '90s transitioned it to be where it is today.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, it was the foundation of success for some of these guys who have come up. Would you say that hip hop and
I don't know what this noise is.
I am only hearing it in my ear.
Yeah, I think it's your phone. That's fine.
Is it my phone really? Might be.
Anyway, go ahead.
No one's calling or texting me because I'm a loser. Would you say that hip hop started in New York?
Yeah, it did. It's proven.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a birthplace.
So that's where
Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx.
That's where like NWA, they got it from Brooklyn.
No, they didn't get it from them. They were listening to.
They were out here.
They were listening.
Yeah, they listened out here. Yeah.
Okay, just a question.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you're going with.
We're getting mad over
here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forget you don't know hip hop like that.
I wasn't into it from the beginning. I thought.
We both got all mad right now.
I don't know, like, fuck, Kevin. Jesus Christ. Why you ask a question on a podcast? Fuck me.
It seems like nowadays, like kids are more like passionate about who they're like fans of. You know what I mean? Like back then too, but like now, like you see like hardcore like fans like lining up at shows and stuff. It's like and stuff we can't even relate to. You know, like the 6ix9ine. You know, like I play at high schools and like kids go crazy to these songs. Like, damn, dude, like I had like no idea. I mean, I know the song, I know the artist, but like you don't get that vibe until like you see these kids like singing every lyric at like, you know, like that one song by Juice WRLD, Lucid Dreams. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but we played on
Richard is.
Yeah, we played on the radio all the time, and like it's a very mellow song. And I got it requested at a Sweet 16 recently, and I was like iffy about playing it because it's so mellow, and then I ended up playing it just to like kind of like
appease them.
Yeah. It was the biggest song of the whole like entire party. Like,
everyone went to the dance floor.
They sang every lyric. It's not like a fun song or anything, but
the Fortnite dance.
Yeah, do it.
No.
Stand up.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
But yeah, these kids are so passionate. You know what I mean? They're like hardcore fans of like whoever they like. You know what I mean? Like social media, you just see like. And back then there was no social media, so you were just like you talk to your friends and whatever you like tell them is what you knew. And nowadays, like you just see like you talk bad about a song or an artist, and like you get a bunch of trolls right away, like yo, like don't be talking shit about Cardi B, like you know, or whoever, you know. So it's a crazy day, you know.
Does the fact that that's maybe not, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, Mr. DJ Fuze, but the, this newer kind of music, SoundCloud stuff, if that's not your genre, if it's not your cup of tea, if it's not the music that you like, does it kind of ruin your experience as a DJ because now you're forced to listen to something that's really not what you like, you're mixing it in, and it's does it take away from the joy of being a DJ?
No, that was kind of what I was trying to get at earlier. Like, I've learned along the way to just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that the music is gonna keep evolving and changing, and it's not what I like. You know what I mean? It's dictated by what the kids like. So it's like, let's play what they like, and I'll be in the studio like bobbing my head and dancing to.
So you were saying that so they have a company laptop when you DJ? So
Yeah, we share a laptop. Yeah.
No shit. Huh?
Yeah.
So they upload what music they want you to play, and then you have like a list, and you kind of just
Yeah,
incorporate them however you can.
Yeah. We program like according to like our rules and stuff. So.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah. It's again like even with that, like I learned to like just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like incorporate like my techniques.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it
sketches.
teaches you, or you try to figure out different ways of like mixing these songs.
Yeah, you gotta get creative. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the music is very mellow, especially right now with hip hop. It's very like slow. So
Well,
it's easy.
everybody's depressed and want to kill themselves. And
Yeah,
shit.
it's easy to like get bored with it. But I'm like,
I mean, seriously, all the music right now is like people fucking
Yeah,
saying they
that's
want
what
to
I'm
take music or they want to take
emo,
pills and
emo,
want to kill
like
themselves.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad I listen to country.
Like, you want to kill your dog?
No, because people just end up killing us.
You want to take a break?
Let's take well, on that note, yeah, let's take a quick break and we'll come back. I have some legality questions for you, Mr.
Let's do
DJ
it.
Fuze.
Let's do it.
All right. Pause this motherfucker.
Did I tell you what? I didn't. I haven't talked to you. My